dust. Never a good thing. Anyway, today we will cover what I did in order to mitigate the dust. This is my Shapeoko XXL, and as you can see, I have upgraded to the HDZ since I got it over 2 years ago. Over here was my old Z-axis. This part is part of the dust boot that I purchased separately in order to mitigate the dust. These are part of the dust boot and it works really well. It's from Socket dust boot. So I need to adapt this to the HDZ in order to not go to waste. Anyway, so what I did is I created this adapter, and I did a lot of measurement for this to ride here on the HDZ ears. I also printed it in blue. This is 3D printed in PETG filament. So I'm hoping once I mount this to the ears that I'll be able to install the old dust boot and get the dust extraction working again. So I'm gonna go ahead and mount the camera so that I can go ahead and install these. So here we go. This is for the left side. Left side, as you look at the machine, left side will be here. There's a groove here for the dust boot to slide up and down on. Let's see how it fits. I did a lot of measurement. That went in. That went in. Good. Moment of truth. Alright, that went in just fine. Second screw is a little tight. No, it's good. Yeah! And I designed this with tight tolerances, so I'm hoping that that looks pretty good. I'll show you a close-up. So it's sitting against this face. As you can see, it's very close. Little gap so that the motor can still move up and down without touching, and I think I'll be successful with that one. So we'll go ahead and mount the right side and go from there. That mounted just fine. The screws protrude slightly on both sides, and as you can tell, I'm able to pretty much get it to be level with the ears. Actually, I cannot even feel this. But let's see if the dust boot the rails will actually fit. The machine is currently on, but the router is unplugged, so it will stay in its place. So the dust boot, there's obviously the left side and the right side. You can tell from this that this is the left side as you look at the machine, because the dust boot slides in here. Inside there are two magnets that matches the magnets on the dust boot itself. As you can see here, it matches, so it goes in like this, slides in and out. Works really well, at least on my previous Z-axis. So we'll take this apart and get it installed and see how it goes. You can see the orientation of this thing. And I did take this into account during my design. This distance and that distance. It slides pretty smoothly. Get the screw in here. Huh. All right, seems like that works smoothly. That's locked right there, and it slides up and down. Although right now I have a couple of wasteboard on top of each other, on top of the original wasteboard, so I can't really go down that much. So this will mostly stay around somewhere in this area. But let's install the other side and see how it goes. Well, that seemed to have stayed. It wiggles a little more than I would like, but let's see if it will work. We will set this up at the highest point right now, and let's test this. Side to side motion is not too bad. Now we're going to try to lower the machine and make sure that this hole lines up with this, because that's how I designed it. If not, we're gonna have to adjust these screws so that this can move back and forth. So it looks like the tolerances here are a little too tight. I might just let it go or do some modification with the screw. We'll have to see, but looking good so far. Looks like we're gonna clear the hole. So let's lower it evenly. Okay, looks like I need to move the dust boot back a little bit. So what we need to do is move this piece back. So this need to actually move forward. As you can see, I have some allowance. Slightly less here, but still good. So we'll move it maybe 1/8 of an inch and see how it goes. Alright, I did my adjustment. As you can tell, the ears are now forward compared to the previous configuration where it lined up back here. So let's give this a try. Looks like we have success. So we got some space here as well as some space right here. Perfect. So now I just need to attach the dust adapter, the vacuum adapter. This is my other dust boot that I 3D printed. It works to some degree, however the suction back here usually get jammed with small pieces. Then small pieces like these when it gets kicked off by the router, then you will not have suction. So if we do this, I already 3D printed the hose adapter. So all I have to do is plug this in like before and snap that in place, and we should be good to go. So let's see how it runs. I'm going to actually clear this project, that area there where there's a name that got destroyed. I'm actually gonna just shave it off and finish this project as a regular Texas state flag. Basically what I do or was doing is creating something like this where it's a state of Texas or whatever state, and this is for my Filipino friends. Philippine flag, this will be painted yellow, this will be white, this in blue, this in red. Then after it dries, I pour epoxy on top of that, let it overflow on the side, which I usually paint black, and they like it. So it's an easy gift for me to create, and it takes about maybe total of 2 days including drying time. So let's see how that other one, which I screwed up, will work, because the name is here currently and I'll shave that off. There's another name here that I'm gonna shave off on that other one. So we'll go from here, and here we go. So that took around 4 minutes to cut the entire surface here on the upper part of this project. So we're gonna cut this lower part now, and I'll fast forward that and then follow it with cutting that part. This is the second part we cut. That part here. This is the third part we cut. As you can tell, there's really not much dust left, although I can feel some. And this is MDF. The dust created by this thing, I heard, is pretty harmful if you keep inhaling it. So we should not have that problem anymore in the future. There will be dust, can't avoid that. So I'm gonna go ahead and proceed and finish this, but I would say we have success with this adapter. Which we use to adapt the HDZ for the Shapeoko to an older dust boot that is made for the old Z-axis. That's it. Have a good day. Take care.